Hey everyone, welcome to the show. We are literally living through history right now. Today, something wild happened that has never happened before in the history of our country since we've had a government in place. I'm talking about the major drama that unfolded in the House of Representatives today. And this is not just for entertainment value, but it could affect who ends up with the majority in the House in 2024 or 2025. As you guys all know by now, there was a government shutdown that was narrowly averted in the 11th hour over last weekend. The House and Senate passed a temporary bill to stave off the shutdown. And Democrats voted with a few of the Republicans to get that passed. Well, this was just a Band-Aid. We're going to be right back in this situation in November. But the main issue is that you have the Republican extremists, the MAGA wing of the party, fighting with the more establishment, traditional Republicans. They want to burn everything down. And so Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, like I said, he was forced to align himself with the Democrats to pass this temporary bill. That enraged this MAGA Q-Loon caucus. And so they use that against him. They're painting him as a rhino, as a Republican in name only. So the head loon, Congressman Matt Gaetz, or one of the head loons, he introduced a motion to remove McCarthy as the speaker. The ironic thing is, the Q-Loon caucus needed all of the Democrats to vote with them to remove McCarthy. It's unreal, right? And McCarthy needed the Democrats in order to keep his speakership. Well, the Democrats had talked over the weekend about maybe we can extract some concessions from McCarthy. But here's the thing. They can't trust him. They know they can't trust him. And why should they, right? He has capitulated to the Q-Loons from the beginning. He allowed them to move forward with this farce of an impeachment inquiry without any substantive evidence against Joe Biden. He lies constantly. He has lied for Donald Trump. He's lied about January 6th. He handed over all of the January 6th video evidence to Tucker Carlson. And here's what really did it for the Democrats and why they didn't stand with him today. After they saved his ass over the weekend and voted to help him keep the government going, he then went on all of the talk shows on the weekend and was talking shit about them and saying how they were the ones trying to prevent the government from staying open. They were the ones that wanted to shut it down. It's unbelievable. So for the first time in our nation's history today, he has been voted out. Kevin McCarthy was voted out in a vote of 216 to 210. So a bunch of Democrats aligned with almost two handfuls, I guess, of Republicans and voted him out. So he is no longer speaker after he went through all of that garbage at the beginning of this year, after he jumped through all their hoops and gave them everything they wanted, including one being able to bring this up for a vote with only one person, which is one thing he agreed to. And so he basically he set the time clock on his speakership. So he is now out. He is now humiliated. And we now have a temporary Speaker of the House, but they have no one to really put up that can fill his shoes and bring everyone together. And here's the thing, do we end up now with someone even worse than McCarthy, who is completely unwilling to negotiate with Biden and the Democrats? There's two ways to think of worse, right? It could be worse in that the entire government comes to a standstill. I mean, that could be good. It could not be good. It could be politically advantageous for the Democrats, but it's not going to help the American people. But then again, is McCarthy being in power actually helping the American people? Because again, he keeps giving in to these lunatics in his party. Another consideration is the House Ethics Committee investigation into Matt Gaetz. They are apparently getting ready to release the findings of that investigation. And reportedly, many Republicans, even before this whole McCarthy thing went down today, they were already chomping at the bit to remove Gates from office based on these findings. He has managed to piss off a lot of people in his own party, and obviously the Democrats as well. They want him gone. But then you come to the question of, okay, you kick out Matt Gaetz for whatever reason, right? Maybe trafficking minors, as he's been accused of. Okay, how do you justify that, though, when the Department of Justice refused to go after him? They refused to prosecute him for it. But you have at the same time Republican George Santos, who has been allowed to remain in office while he is under active indictment. So this is a sticky wicket, to put it mildly, for the Republicans. And like I said before, I mean, McCarthy got real comfortable in that speaker's suite, and he really shouldn't have unpacked the boxes. Now, surprisingly, I wanted to point this out. Nancy Pelosi was absent. She was conspicuously absent from the vote. I think that she didn't want to be put in that position. I think that was strategic on her part to miss that vote. But yeah, they called out her name several times. She never answered. So she just didn't show up for it. But the Democrats all stuck together. They were like, yeah, we're done. You have made no friends on this side of the aisle. And so don't look to us. And apparently McCarthy didn't even try. He didn't even approach them. But some of his allies did approach Democrats. I think he knew that he would be making an even bigger fool of himself to try to do that after the way he threw them under the bus last weekend. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, the Republicans in charge is like, oh, God. Yeah, it's like cats when something falls. And here, the thing with McCarthy, he's like the guy, he's like these people who bring home a wild animal, right? What did he expect? He's like one of these people that brings home like a, giant python or something, and everybody's going, ugh, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's really going to work out. I mean, that's a wild animal. These things can be vicious. That thing can eat you, right? That thing can wrap around you and squeeze the life out of you and then eat you. and the person who brings it home is like, no, it's my pet, and we have an understanding, and I take care of it, and it knows I feed it, and I'm the owner, I'm the boss, I'm in charge. And you're like, are you really? I don't think so. And this is a wild animal. They are not thinking creatures. they're based, they work based on feeling and instinct and in the moment. Like, they might just squeeze you and eat you. Well, Kevin got squeezed and eaten. So there you go. Oh, well, lesson learned. All right, guys, I will let you know when I hear more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.